G'day, I'm Dan Marr. Welcome to Travel Reps. This week we're off to Vienna, the capital of Austria, and it's a beautiful city. It's so many beautiful buildings, but basically the center of Vienna is rich in what they call Baroque style of architecture. Now this is in their castles, their grand buildings, their gardens, as well as monuments, and also in design of basically anything in the area. So Baroque was a style of architecture firstly, but then it followed off into music and design and art throughout the 17th and 18th century. But it's defined or known for its ornate detail. So some of the buildings are absolutely spectacular. So what we like to do there is have a walk around what we call the Ringstrasse, or it's a road that encompasses the center. The locals call it the Ring, and it's a grand boulevard. It's designed in 1857, and I suppose the roads were expanded to put in trees and gardens and extra architecture at the time. It was built to show off the best of the Habsburg Empire and offers a great way to view the city and its striking architecture. So it's 5.3 kilometers, but it's one of those places or one of those roads you walk down, you look at the map and you can't believe how far you've come. So much to see and do there. Now the Habsburgs, they were the royal family at the time in the 17th and 18th century. The royal family reigned up until 1918, the end of the First World War. But there were two periods that were known in that time. 1804 to 1867 was known as the Austrian Empire, and 1867 to 1918, they were known as the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And of course, the defeat in World War I meant they lost their empire, but they lost a lot of land that was outside what we see today as Austria. So we're going to go to the map now and have a look at the Ringstrasse and a good walking tour. So in front of you, you'll see a map of downtown Vienna. This yellow line here is the Ringstrasse, as we said. And today, we're going to have a look at quite a few places on this walking tour of Vienna. So for orientation purposes, we're going to start off at St. Stephen's Cathedral. It's considered to be the center of town, and it's in the old area of town. From there, we're going to go up to St. Peter's, and that's a Catholic church. And then from there, you'll see the blue line going down to the Hofburg, or the Hofburg Palace, to two museums, one of them being the Natural History Museum of Vienna. And then back east to Albertina, then south to the Vienna State Opera, or as the blue line suggests, you could do Albertina and the State Opera before the museums. Just behind the museums is an area that's noted as the Museums Quartier, and there's a lot of museums in that area. From there, we're going to walk past Carl's Church, or St. Carl's Kirk. From there, we'll head down to what they call Gallery Belvedere, or what we would call Belvedere Galleries. From there, if you're feeling very energetic, you can walk from Belvedere through to Schönbrunn Palace, but it's over an hour's walk, so that might be the local transport system or by car. There's a couple of buildings that we won't feature today that are worth noting where they are. The Anchor Clock. It's famous. Every hour it strikes, there's a little bit of a show to see, and that's an area of town which is great for food and coffees, etc. We also have the Museum to Sigmund Freud. We have Cafe Central, which is a special cafe while you're in the area. Then we have the Rat House. Now, who wants to live in a rat house? The mayor of Vienna lives there, or does his business there anyway. Then we head south to what the Austrians know as Nassmarkt, or a market. So that's basically going to be our look at the capital of Austria, But as we said, plenty more to do and see in all these places. This is just an orientation tour. So let's begin. St. Stephen's is Austria's most prominent national symbol. This magnificent cathedral is known for its mosaic tiled roof. There's an elevator you can catch to the South Tower, which offers pretty good views of all the mosaics as well as the city. Just a minute or two north is Peter's Kirk, or St. Peter's Church, which is a Roman Catholic church. St. Peter's was built in 1733. From there, we head about 5 minutes west to the Hofburg, or the Hofburg Palace. It was opened in 1279 and is the official residence and workplace of the President of Austria, and was formerly the principal imperial palace of the Habsburg family. For centuries, the Vienna Hofburg was the centre of the Habsburg Empire. Today, the palace houses 3 museums depicting everyday life of the imperial court in its heyday. It also houses a Spanish writing school, which is world famous. It was built during the Habsburg dynasty and opened in 1735, and is one of the world's finest institutes for classical dressage and renowned for its tradition in Austria. The Pullman House is considered one of the world's leading greenhouses. It is housed within a Bergarten Park beside the Hofburg. Natural History Museum. It was founded in 1889 and is considered to be one of the most important history museums in the world. And it faces another museum called the Kunsthistorische. The Albertina houses one of the most important art collections in the world. It was founded in 1776 and features masterpieces by Da Vinci, Raphael, Michelangelo, Rembrandt and many others. The Vienna State Opera House is of outstanding neo-Renaissance style architecture. The interior is most opulent, and a lot of people who are not into opera still like to visit it. The Belvedere Museum, or the 2 Belvedere palaces, were built in the early 1700s as a summer residence for Prince Eugene of Savoy. As one of Europe's most stunning Baroque landmarks, it is listed under World Heritage UNESCO. Feeling energetic, you might like to have a 1 hour and 15-minute walk west to the World Heritage Site of the Schönbrunn Palace. This is Austria's #1 tourist attraction. In the palace, the residence and the staterooms, they're the original furnishings and decorations that depict the imperial lifestyle of its day. The park and gardens surrounding the palace make a great recreational area for Vienna's residents. One of the other buildings you might like to visit is the Rathaus. It's on the Ringstrasse and it's a very impressive building. It's the offices of the mayor and the council. So if you love majestic buildings with ornate features, you're going to love Vienna. There's so much to see and do there. Vienna's also famous for other things. You might have heard of the Vienna Waltz or the Strauss Waltz. Well, if you'd like to learn to waltz or you'd just like a night out waltzing, Vienna's a great place to do that. Now, for those of us that have two left feet, Vienna is also good for some other things. They have terrific lagers and their wineries, or the region has fantastic wineries. So if you go out and enjoy their lagers and wineries, you might end up waltzing home anyway. Also, they have this special coffee that's laced with chocolate. So coffee and chocolate, very smooth, and most people rate it as one of the better coffees in the world. So Vienna, for the right people, is a fantastic place to visit. Enjoy it, travel well. As we always say, it doesn't matter where you're traveling in the world. There are some reasons to go and have a chat to a professional licensed travel agent to ensure that your trip is safe. Travel well.